Hey everybody, Miss Triebel here. I'm in Ephesus right now, so this is a Roman road behind me, which is super fitting because I'm going to read to you about Roman roads. So please follow along as I read. The cursor will move to the section I'm reading so you know where I am. Okay, Roman roads. All roads lead to Rome is a saying that was certainly true in the time of the Roman Empire. Before the Romans, there were a few paved roads in Europe, although there were many winding tracks and paths. When the Romans came into power, they constructed an impressive system of straight roads that connected an entire empire to the imperial capital, from point A to point B. The main requirements of a Roman road was that it was as straight and flat as possible so that the legionaries could march quickly along it for hours at a time. The soldiers needed to move from one military fort or base to another in order to keep the peace. These forts were often located in existing towns or later had towns develop around them, so travelers and traders could also journey along these roads. Getting it straight. The first task when building a road was to plan the route. We are not exactly sure how the Romans did this, but they probably used a system of marker points on hills or other prominent natural features, possibly involving beacons or bonfires, to outlet the entire route. This was why most Roman roads were not completely straight, but they were made up of straight sections linked together in a series of very gentle zigzags. Once the overall route was planned, surveyors marked it out in detail using a groma, or a viewing instrument. Paved and drained. The road surface varied according to the local material available. Most roads had a foundation of large stones covered by a layer of smaller stones, and then a layer of gravel on top, of which a large paving stones were sometimes placed. The road was up to 3 feet, 1 meter thick, and up to 29 feet or 9 meters wide, sloping down on both sides to let rainwater flow off into the drainage ditches. When the surfaces wore out, the new one was placed on top. How many miles of roads the Romans built like this is unknown, but there were at least 10,000 miles in Great Britain alone. So over here in this vignette, it is likely that the Romans drew maps to help them help them on their travels. AD or CE, 13th century copy of an ancient map above. Like modern day maps, they show the various towns and cities and distances between them, and even use symbols to show the inns, like hotels, and other stopping places along the route. We go back to the other vignettes. The Romans built their roads in as straight a line as possible, climbing up and down hillsides and across valleys, and only changing direction to avoid large river bends or a steep hill or other natural obstacles. The surface was smooth in order to allow foot soldiers to march along the road quickly and comfortably. And then lastly, Roman roads were crowded with every type of traveler. From these magistrates, CE, 2nd century relief, elected government officials walking in a procession to legions, merchants, tourists, and robbers. All right, and thank you for tuning in with us. I guess I can't see.